Hey, people. So it looks like we're live. I'm just going to wait for everyone to come online here. So I'm going to see who is coming online. I am wondering. Yes. Okay. I think we're good. I'm just going to make sure that you guys can see me and that you guys can hear me okay. So let me know if you are in the group now, if you can hear and if you can see me. Yes, I think I can see myself. Let me know. So if you can hear me and see me okay, let me know. Okay, so, right, it looks okay. It looks okay. So let's just dive in, shall we? So welcome. Jenny Lyon here, going live in my Facebook group. And today I want to talk to you about the Grow, Shine and Thrive method. And the reason for this is that what often comes up with, especially people and spiritual entrepreneurs joining the membership, there's a few things they don't realize what it actually takes to build a business. And one of the things is all the different mechanisms that happens within you and in the business, as you're building it, and the actual perception is that it's quite easy. The perception is that, yeah, I'll just like share my offers and, you know, I'm a really good healer or I'm a really good coach. That's kind of the perception, and that, yeah, people will buy as long as I just tell them how great my healing is, which is obviously not the truth. So the perception is often so far away from the reality. Now, that doesn't mean that it's hard. It's just that there is a lot of knowledge that goes into building the business. It's not something you can do on your own. Like literally, it's like saying, it's like opening a restaurant and you're not a chef, you don't understand customer service, you've never worked in the hospitality industry, like you don't know anything about food. That's like the same thing. Well, you may know a little bit about food because you would know something about healing, right? But you haven't had experience to build and grow the business. You haven't learned to market it correctly. Like there's so many different aspects. You don't know how to run a team. You don't know how to, there's so many different things, right? So to say that we can go online and just start a business and just be successful without learning properly what you really have to learn, the fundamentals, is 100% going to be a fail. Like it's 100% going to be a fail. Or there's a few people in my audience that I've noticed they've been in the same space for the last 5 years, as long as I've known them, because they never have invested or invested very little. And they're still at the same place as they were 5 years ago, which is not what we want. We want to move, you know, with our businesses. We want to have impact. We want to create successful businesses, but not just that. We want to come into full alignment, like really feeling nourished and happy and aligned and thrilled and excited and sort of fulfilled, plus serving our clients, making them feel the same. So that's kind of the aim, you know, that's why we're here. So to think that we can just kind of go online and do a few things and dip into Canva and do a few graphics, and it's absolutely a lie. So I'm going to share with you the Grow, Shine, Thrive method. Now, I don't want you to get attached to like what it is sort of thing. I'm just going to explain the whole ecosystem that is required for you to build an online business and a brand. Because when it comes to standing out and really, you know, carve your own sort of path in a niche, or carve your own path in the industry. We have to build a brand, and we have to build a specific niche. We have to be specific so that people can easily find us, so people can easily go, oh yeah, she does, you know, soulmate, or like, you know, twin flame healing, or this lady here, she works with just anxiety and healing it with spiritual tools and accessing, you know, whatever multidimensional parts of themselves, like whatever the niche is. Or this coach here works with financial abundance for women over 40 who has just changed their career, like really specific. Yeah, so this is how we can carve our own path. So for example, I help spiritual entrepreneurs starting their business in Connect the Soul Club, and getting all the foundations right, so that when you are then building your business, you're doing it from the right foundation, like kind of skipping all the heartache and the hard pieces which you couldn't figure out yourself, and then you have a strong foundation to build on, so that you can then move and carry on building a brand, maybe up to multiple 6, 7 figures, because that's kind of the idea. Not everyone wants this level of growth, but that's okay. You know, you whatever you feel happy with is what's right for you. Okay. So the other thing, sorry, I lost my train of thought there, I think. Anyway, so the whole idea is, so that's my niche. And I also help leaders and visionaries to expand exponentially, energetically and consciousness wise, so they become even more powerful and impactful leaders with a really high level of consciousness, so they can change the world. And we do this through the light body work. Yeah. So my niche are those, like spiritual visionary leaders and spiritual entrepreneurs. So they can sometimes, one client could actually fit both programs. And sometimes with my one-on-one, obviously, I get higher level earners, because it's a higher ticket just to work one-on-one with me. And then obviously the spiritual entrepreneur Connect the Soul Club is an entry for anyone who wants to build a spiritual business, regardless if you have resources or smaller resources or not, because it's £33 a week, which is about £40 a week. So everyone can afford this level of business coaching. Okay, so let me show you now what this look like. And I don't want you to kind of get attached to what it looks like, but I'm going to share to you the complexity of what actually is required of you to build a successful business. So let's just do this. So I call it the Grow, Shine, Thrive method. And the reason I have labeled the colors in this way, that the grow will be inside here, and then the shine aspect of it is this second circle, and then the thrive aspect is this outer circle. So when it comes to building your business, everything is based upon your sales. So we start from the inner here. I'm going to talk about it from starting from the inside. So everything that you do, and that you, like how much room that you will have to grow, develop, advance your business, all comes from the amount of sales that you will have. And when I talk about sales, I talk about successful sales. And those sales, I'm really referring to the perfect match between you and your client. Because it's not a successful sale if it is a client that is misaligned, like who doesn't do the work, or a client who, you know, is kind of in victim consciousness or something like that, or a client who blames you for their detox symptoms, you know, things like this is misaligned. They're not successful sales. So when I talk about successful sales, it is with clients that take radical responsibility, and clients that are fully, you know, taking full sort of ownership of their growth, and you do it together in a magical way together. All right. So, for example, I have a beautiful lady just who signed up in my one-on-one recently, and she truly is a perfect example of a dream client, taking full responsibility for where she's at, communicating with me with really high level of integrity and great boundaries, like so amazing. So that is a successful sale. So we want these ones. So the successful sales allows us to grow the business, because without money leverage, you don't have a business. In the beginning, when you start building, any cash flow is great. So like whether you get them from from the sessions, or you get them from a program that you just launched, or however you're getting them. Sometimes in the beginning of building the business, you have a money resource coming from somewhere else, which will be a job, or you have saved money, or somebody is helping you to with finances, basically. So it doesn't matter, like all money is great, right? So successful sales has stuff. Now, in order to immediately get successful sales in your business, or as soon as possible, we need clarity, visibility, and confidence. Clarity means you're clear on your niche, you know who you're working with, you know what your message is, you know the problem you'll solve, you know what channel you want to show up in, you know what you don't like, and you know what you like. Like, it's like there's a clarity on everything. You know what lights you up, you know what makes you feel drained. You have clarity on all the pieces. The visibility piece is obviously, okay, so what is your visibility strategy? Are you going to start on Facebook? Are you going to start on LinkedIn? Are you going to start on like YouTube? Are you going to build your YouTube channel? Are you going to do it through TikTok? Like that is decided once you know and have clarity in your program, your niche, your messaging. Because if you think of somebody who wants to work with CEO and leaders only, and maybe corporate executives, well, of course, their channel is going to be LinkedIn, right? So by knowing exactly who you're working with, exactly where these people hang out, then you know what the visibility, where you're going to show up. Now, when it comes to visibility, it just means that you are consistent, you're clear on the message. That means that you can write content easily. That also means that you can visibly like show up quite easily. Visibility is also branding. So like if you have already, so we can't brand before we decide who we want to work with, the niche, the message you hold, your big why, maybe even your soul contract, things like this. This is what we work with inside the Connect the Soul Club. And can I say as well, this is not a linear process. It is lots of different courses like inside the Connect the Soul Club that will lead to this expansion. So you will get clarity by doing Market Position Express, by doing your organic lead generation, by understanding more about your soul contract, by learning more about your message, what you really want to say to these people. That's how you get the clarity, but only through doing the work inside the club. So there's lots of different processes that we have inside there. So then the visibility, we've said that. So that's like consistency, knowing where to show up, what to say, have even maybe a system set up. Like I use SmarterQ for consistent content rotation, so that I'm consistently visible without burning out on my nervous system, because obviously I like divine feminine energy, so I don't want to be doing social media all the time. Confidence. Now, this is a big piece, right? So as soon as somebody is very clear on who they help and what they want to do and the message and everything else, and they've done all the courses inside my membership, then they understand, then they're like, I feel now, I feel confident. Now I feel confident about what to say, where to show up. I have a strategy. I feel happy, like I feel excited about doing my weekly live on LinkedIn, talking to my CEO and executives. Like, there is a confidence in this. There's also confidence the more clients you see. So some of the people in the Connect the Soul Club have just started out. Some of them are experienced healers. So if you are already an experienced healer or an experienced coach, you will have confidence in what you do. The only time your confidence is knocked, like the actual confidence, can I really do this, is when the clarity is not there and the visibility is not there. Because what happens is you're putting the wrong message out there to the wrong person on the wrong channel. You get crickets. When you get crickets, it starts knocking your confidence as a skilled coach or healer. So it's absolutely bonkers to think that you could do this without learning the marketing and the business, because it just creates this spin around. So when we get crickets because the clarity and the visibility is wrong, it then really starts eating into our confidence and it's really starting to affect our sales. So if you think of this as these things has to happen rapidly, the clarity, visibility, confidence, it has to happen rapidly, and you start then creating sales because your message is right, you're showing up in the right channel, you feel happy, grounded, and confident. Now, not to miss as well, inside the Connected Soul Club, we have the Ascension Clearing Kit. You also have, which is a healing program. We have a whole section for setting up for success, mindset shifts, a huge library of meditations that are like clearing, almost like energy clearings as well. So there's a huge, huge resource library in there to help you get out of your own way, which means that you will move the needle much faster. So when these things happen and you're like, okay, I've got this, then you can start really refining messaging and content. Like it's getting better and better. You're starting to refine it. You feel more confident to start having conscious conversations in networking events because you know what you're selling, you know what you're good at, you know where you show up, you feel confident. So you can talk quite openly about what you do. The collaboration starts happening, you feel more confident to say, hey, you know, I would love to go on your podcast. Maybe you want to do a Facebook Live in my Facebook group and we can talk about X, Y, Z. But again, this has to happen first. Your values and desires are getting, like you would have them before you start this. You would know what you want in life and you would know what you're looking to create in your life as well and business. But they become even more defined and even more like elevated, if you like. So my values and desires, my values are the same. I value my family time, my self-care, I value my clients, I value my business, I value so many things in my life that makes me happy and fulfilled, but also I desire global impact. And the more I get clear on this and the better I do here, the more amplified my desire become to have global impact, which means that I will take more bold steps to do so. For example, podcast just launched and things like that. It's like bold steps, right? My purpose always amplifies the more I work on this. It's like it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer every day. And if I ever feel like this is wobbling and I'm like, oh gosh, what am I doing? I go back and tap into my purpose. I go back and look at my soul contract. I go back and go, yeah, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. And this is what I'm here to change in the world. We also talk a lot about program promise. So like when you know who you are helping, the niche you are serving, the program, your first program or second program, some of the clients that you know are in the club have had programs before. Maybe they want to create a completely new one or refine or vamp up the one they've got, but it has to have a promise. What's the promise? So for example, Connected Soul Club, what's the promise of the Connected Soul Club? The promise of the Connected Soul Club is that you can have all these things if you stay, I'd say 12 to 24 months. Okay, so this is not a fix, you don't fix this in 3 months. So if you decided to stay for less than £3,000 for 2 years, you get the value of like 25,000 pounds or dollars of coaching, which is like an absolute no-brainer. So anyway, so the program promise is this for this program. My program promise for the Light Body Activations is that you will embody higher consciousness and you will download your divine masterpiece. Like, you will know what your full life mission. You'll get that piece eventually, maybe not straight away, maybe a month later, maybe throughout the process, maybe 6 months later, but you will definitely get the masterpiece that you came here to create this lifetime throughout the Light Body program. That's the promise of the program. And you will heal deeply. That's also the promise of the program. So you just need to do this as well. You have to have some promises of your program, and that will then be something that you can build and scale on. Obviously, quality and delivery. So I always work on quality. I always work on delivery. I have a 10-1 in my soul contract, which means I'm so committed to high levels of service, but I'm also really critical on the things. Like, I'm really quite hard on myself to deliver high level always. And if it didn't go exactly how I wanted it, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So I do have this in me, and I think at the moment in the coaching industry, the more quality and high level of delivery we can have, the more we will just succeed. It will just be easier to succeed. And the ones that sort of trying to cut corners and not deliver high levels of care and service to their clients, or lofty promises, and then they don't get the access they needed, or like it just didn't feel aligned what they bought, those people are not going to survive long term unless they up the level of service, which is also something I'm really, really passionate about. Now, when you start getting this humming and you're like, oh my God, I've got my program, I feel like I'm serving this person, this is really great, I'm doing all the things, you really start building trust and you start standing out. You have a brand, and this is not just colors, the brand, it's like your voice. You know, your brand is your voice. What is it you stand for? What is it that you're here to do in this world? What is it that you came to do? What is it? That becomes even stronger and even more powerful when you really nail these things that I've just shared with you now. And as you go, you become more experienced, you get more refined. Let's say so I remember, was it the Magnetic Queen Expansion? There was a program in 2020, which I did, was called Magnetic Queen Expansion, I think it was called. And I had, I think, 8 people in there. It was a month, like intensive program of building a business, or building some parts of the business, some parts of this that I will show you here, and really uplifting, elevating your energy as well. That was like my first sort of program on kind of this, if that makes sense. And then I evolved. So I then started a club. Was it 2020? I did that, on 19, I can't remember. Yeah, I started a club, then I did Business Success the Energetic Way, then I started blending the both, then I started to change Connect the Soul Club into a business membership as opposed to a personal development membership, and just shifted this and adapted really to my audience, and adapted to where I wanted to be, adapted to what I felt was the right offer for my audience right now. And the club is growing, the club is refining, I have a huge vision for the club, and I still feel and see this big vision with like 200 people in it, still really, everyone getting exactly the support they need, everyone feeling seen, heard, valued, supported in exactly the way they need to be supported to create this. So it feels super aligned, I feel super aligned. So I just wanted to share with you really what the Grow, Shine, Thrive method is. And basically what I'm looking here, grow, really, you're looking to 0 to 3K a month in this area, because you kind of you're doing sessions, or maybe have a couple of programs, you maybe get a new one-on-one client, or like you're growing, you're not on a high level of earnings just yet. And then here we're looking to 3 to 10K a month, so maybe 3 to 7K or something. And then anything beyond 8K is this out here. 8 to 10K is the Thrive. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the numbers, sort of like idea, So again, we can talk about pricing another time, because I think it's kind of a different topic, but I want to talk to you about pricing another time and how to price your programs and things, because that is so important for you to be able to scale your business and kind of build on it. We need either a program, an offer, a membership, something that you can leverage. And that only comes from, in the beginning, trial and error, and try different things out. And then maybe refine that first program that you created. It may change a little bit in shape or form and delivery, but the idea is really to get this aligned. So now, if you go back to the very beginning of this live, when I said, oh yeah, let's just show up on social media, do a couple of posts, see if some clients will buy my healing sessions. This thing that you want to achieve here is like 1,000 miles away from that. And this is not something that anyone can create on their own. So that's why I created the Connect Soul Club. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hope you found that really useful. And if you have any questions and want this like full heart support, expertise, want the magic of the energy, like really want to be somewhere together with others and create exactly this, then the Connect Soul Club is for you. I will drop the link. I don't do sales calls for the club. You just have to kind of join and sign up. It's $40 a week. There's no contracts. You can sign up. If you didn't like it, you could just leave for some reason, whatever, it's not for everyone. And yeah, I invite you to join us. And I wish you a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week. I should drop the link to join us below. Have a really amazing weekend. Sending you lots and lots of love.